Hi folks, I'm the Bald Guy, and these are Bald Guy Basics. Advice from a non-professional to people who don't claim to be professionals. And today, I want to show you a very handy and a relatively affordable tool that you as a homeowner, a person with property, with machinery, should probably consider having at your house. And that is a basic pressure washer. Years ago, my dad bought a pressure washer from, I don't know if he bought one from Harbor Freight or Lowe's or Walmart, but it was an electric one. And we used that for a few years. And when Dad became incapacitated, I kind of inherited it. But the thing leaked water around all the fittings, and the hose finally, it didn't break, but it separated at the fitting so that water is squirting out. It became unusable. Now, I could replace the hose and I could tighten the fittings. But as I was looking on Facebook Marketplace one day, somebody had gotten into a case where he had a motorcycle wreck and it hurt his foot and he needed money, so he sold a brand new unit and I bought it. And I'm going to show you what we have here and we'll talk a little bit about it. I am not recommending this model. I'm not recommending against it. I'm simply saying it's what I've got. And if you have a house, especially if you have any kind of siding but also brick, a pressure washer is incredibly handy. If you have sidewalks, you will find that they darken over the years, usually because of mold. It's incredibly handy. And I took some video earlier this week because I went back up to my mom's house and needed to do some cleaning there. So I've got some brief video showing you just how handy it is. Today I'm going to show you a little video of how handy it is in cleaning up things like a truck. I've also used this for cleaning up your lawnmower. It'll get grass out of the deck much easier. It'll get oil residue off of machinery. So this is a really handy thing to have. So let's look at what we've got, and I'll talk about a little bit about price, but I've had this for a couple of years. This is a low-end model, but I'm telling you, it really does more than the average homeowner will probably need it to do. So let's look at what we've got. I have a unit. I believe this was sold at Walmart. It's a Black Max. It's a 2,300 pounds per square inch unit. It's a basic, I don't know if that's a Briggs & Stratton engine underneath there or not. It's a 161 cc engine, and you've got all the attachments here. Here you've got your various nozzles. It comes with your wand and your pressure hose. And what we're going to be doing today is cleaning out the truck. Now, the truck, if you can see that, I haul wood with this truck, and the truck is covered up not only with debris from the wood and sawdust that has kind of gotten impacted over a while down in there. I can't just sweep it out. But you see overhead, I'm under a pin oak, and the pin oak has these little pin oak acorns. And this stuff is thick in here. So we're going to do a little work to clean this thing out. And I'm going to mount this thing. Debris is going to fly. But I want to show you just how effective this is for your house. And then I'll paste in the other video and let you see how easy it is. I'm here at the back of the house. And right here, here's some of the things a pressure washer is great for. You see my stoop there, which is blocks. Those clean up great with a pressure washer. That back door, brand new, just 2 years ago. Between dirt and other buildup, it's getting dingy. So I can clean up there. The siding, which is 2 years old, still pretty clean. But siding will develop mold and other problems. So the pressure washer is great for that. Gutters up there. And you're going to see where I cleaned Mom's gutters. They were black with mold. Now, they're also 40 years old. And without any chemicals, I just the pressure washer itself cleaned it right up. The deck there, you can clean it from year to year, and when you get ready to paint, if you have loose or flaking paint, pressure washer is great to get those off. Around front there's sidewalks. We've got the truck down there. We've got the tractor. Inside is the lawnmower. So my point is, they are extremely useful. Even the sidewalks here, it's not sidewalks but stepping stones. You see my stepping stones? Those are black. It doesn't really bother me that they are because we're around the back of the house, but every 4 or 5 years I take and clean those off. So it's a great tool to have around. So let me just get this thing set up where you can watch, and I'll have my hands free, and we'll demonstrate just how useful a pressure washer is. One of the great things about a pressure washer is you really don't need any other tool. The only other tool you need is a water hose and of course a water supply. Now, I personally hate hooking this up. Now, I'm a tall fellow, I'm about 6'5", and the connections are underneath the machine. You can tilt the machine up, but once you connect your machine, you have your water line here and then your pressure line, so that's water out there. Once you have that thing connected and your water supply turned on, before you turn the machine on, it is necessary to take and just let the water flow through. And hear that? What you're wanting to do is to clear as much of the air out of your line as possible. If not, it can be bad for the pump if there's too much air, because it can get stuck, kind of like a vapor lock. So just sit here for 30 or 40 seconds and run water through until you can get as much of the air out of the line as possible. You're not going to get it all, most likely, but it makes it a lot easier to clear the lines before you start cleaning. I'll tell you one secret. If you're going to use one of these things, use clothes that you don't mind getting wet and dirty. Put some protection over your eyes because this thing blows debris everywhere. Let me finish up. I couldn't get on top of the truck because the truck is lifted. You can see here the truck is lifted. So what I did, I pulled it over here next to the steps and leaned over, and then finally I did get up in the back of the truck. But in the back of this truck before, there was not only wood and sawdust and wood chips, there was mulch and the dirt associated with mulch that had basically set up as a mucky, almost like a mortar in the top end up there. It's one reason I even used a metal rake and couldn't get it out. The pressure washer got it out. I had to take my time, but it blew the stuff everywhere. So a pressure washer is a great tool to have around. Now let's talk cost. And some of my information is always out of date. It's just the world I live in. I told you that we used to have an electric. The electric back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, could be found for $89.95, $99.95. If I were to guess $139.95, that's maybe more for an electric. I don't think I'd be far off the mark. The gas one, I forget exactly what I gave for it, but when I looked it up, you can buy the thing new at a Walmart for about $150 or $159. That's the cost I looked at a couple of years ago, and of course we've had all of the supply chain issues that has driven prices up. So I'm guessing that you're going to pay in the neighborhood, depending on whether you get the base model, bottom of the line, that you'd find at a Walmart or similar store, at about $200, maybe a little less. As you go on to the big box home remodeling stores, the Lowe's, the Home Depot, those kind of stores, you're probably going to be looking at somewhere between $239 and maybe $300, and these are for the low end. They make these things that will literally, you can dig a hole in concrete, which is great, but I never have needed to dig a hole in concrete, so it's overkill. So for your basic home needs, this thing has the advantage of, it comes with multiple nozzles. And what you're doing, sorry, I got to use my hand to pick up this nozzle. What you're doing is choosing a nozzle that deflects the water at a different angle. The most powerful nozzle will be the one that is most narrow, and the one that comes with this set is a 15-degree nozzle. I think it's 15. Let me look here. No, it's 25 and 40. And then it has a what they call a short-range nozzle, which is not much deflection at all. The only thing that you need to add to your kit is one of these. This is called a turbo nozzle, and what it does, it sprays a spray in a circular pattern. Now this is not going to dry for a while, so I can't show you this. And those rocks are so textured, those stepping stones are so textured, it wouldn't show up well. But let's say you're doing, I know at our church, sometimes we'll do the front sidewalks, and they're pretty smooth concrete. The fan spray nozzles leave it very streaked. It's almost impossible to get it done evenly. But when this thing spins in a circular pattern at 30, 40 revolutions, I don't know if it's 30 per second, but 15 per second, yeah, much faster than I could move it. You end up, it leaves an even texture. And when you notice the videos I did of Mom's gutters, you'll see that's what I'm using. These things are 15 or 20 bucks at most of the places, and they have a quick connect. So when you buy a unit like this, it comes pre-assembled. The only assembly I had to do is this handle here has a couple of detent balls. You just pop them in and it drops off. That's great for sticking it in the truck and hauling. You just add your oil. The oil came with it. So it's not a 2-cycle engine, it's 4-cycle. Put your oil in the oil reservoir, and buddy, we went right to town and haven't had any problem since. I've been using this thing, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. So it's a great tool to have around. It does some really good work. And like I say, I'm out here working on the walk, the truck. I blew off the deck, or the steps here at the bottom of the deck. I can do the brick siding, and especially you see along the bottom, it picks up dirt and debris from water splatter over the years, and you can get start at the top and just work your way down and give your brick a new appearance. It removes mold, it removes lichens and other moss type growths. Then you move on up. You saw me do the doors. You also saw it strip the paint, so that needs to be repainted. Then you can spray off your siding and go all the way up to your gutters. Now, I can't do the gutters from down here, so I'd have to have some sort of ladder or device for elevation. But my point being, and down there, the tractor, which you can kind of see down there parked under the edge of the barn. The tractor, when I bought it, the fella who had the thing before me had, well, he'd never cleaned it up. So tractors tend to leak oil around several of the fittings. So I had hydraulic oil around some of the wheel seals and around the gearbox. And the thing sits and gets hot, and then the hot oil collects grime and dirt, and I mean, they just get a real decay. Man, it strips the stuff right off. I did the whole truck, and that truck has not been done in years. The truck is, if you've seen my chainsawing videos, that's the truck I take to the woods. There was a layer of gray buildup that it cuts right through. Ford is bad for this in certain models. The clear coat at times had stripped away, and around the edge of the clear coat where it's peeling up, dirt will get under it. Well, you hit it with a pressure washer and it will cut those flakes off and get the dirt out from under there. So I mean, it's not new, but it looks better than it did. So a pressure washer is a great thing to have, and I know I'm going on and on here, but if you can afford somewhere between 150 and 250 bucks, I highly recommend them. Do the same thing that people like me do. When you go and find one, pull out your smartphone, scan the barcode. If you don't have a barcode reader, there are free apps that will do that. Or look it up on Amazon and read the reviews. Now, reviews are an interesting thing. Sorry, I don't have my selfie stick, so I'm holding it too close to me. Don't be afraid of a bad review. Look at the overall tone. If you have, 878 reviews, I expect 4 to 5% on any given product that's going to be negative or more. When I read negative reviews, and I do, try to discern whether this is just some people are going to complain about everything, not what I wanted. Well, that's probably because they didn't know what they needed. Look for repetition in my engine locked up, or my hose leaked, or if you get the same problem in a number of users, that's probably something to avoid. And then read the good reviews and take special attention to the frequency at which these things are used. For example, my pressure washer gets used half a dozen times a year on a busy year. So when I pull it out, I tend to, to hit as much as I can, and then it sets in the building. Now, one thing I do is I've got a gas shutoff on it. It came that way. Cut the gas shutoff, and this is good for all of your equipment that has to sit any length of time. Just drain the gas out of it. So what I do, I just don't turn it off. Hit the gas shutoff. It'll run for 30 or 40 seconds and run all the fuel out of the carburetor. That'll save you a lot of trouble down the road too. So I'm going to quit running on because I've got other things to do today, including cleaning all the grime off my body. But I hope that this gives you something to think about, because for comparison, look on Marketplace, or you used to say Craigslist, but it's such a joke anymore. I'm not sure. But hey, Yellow Pages, Google it. Find a handyman who does pressure washing and ask him how much would he charge, he or she, to come out to your house, and whatever your project is, if you want your sidewalks cleaned up or your deck cleaned up, or your buildings done or whatever, say, hey, I've got this job, how much would it cost me? And he's going to come back, depending on the job. If it's a house, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And the thing I wanted you to notice, now you saw the camera jumping around because I was spraying with one hand and holding the camera with the other. And of course, my hands got tired after a while, so I'd have to switch hands. But other than that, it's not like it's not like heavy duty labor. So for a reasonable cost, this thing has wheels on it, so you can pull it around rather than carrying it around. It's pretty mobile. I transported it 125 miles to my mom's, just stuck it in the back of the truck, put a rope to keep it from rolling around the back of the truck, went right up the road. It uses very little gas. I mean, all in all, it's a great unit to have. And especially if you have lawnmowers or any kind of outdoor equipment, it will save you a ton of work in the future. And I'm rambling on again. So this is the Bald Guy. Thanking each one of you for watching. Hope you'll leave us a like. I hope that you will subscribe to our channel. I hope you'll share these videos with others. And if you have any ideas, by all means, shoot me a message. I really love the feedback. Have a great day.